Hi, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing fine. Thank you for asking me.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me again.
Yeah. So, ma'am, last time we spoke about a couple of things.
Yes, I do it. You had told me about writing thing, and I do it whenever I get time. I write. I am a writer on medium.com as well. Sometimes I
Mhm.
write some stories or some articles on medium.com as well.
Okay, lovely. Have you seen any changes, any improvements you want to talk about?
Yes, I have seen changes. I think it is all a matter of practice. The more we practice, the better we become. The day when I do more practice, in the evening, I feel much better. I am able to speak more fluently. And if I don't practice at all, that day, like one day I didn't practice, and the other day I started it again, then I feel a little, English is not coming out of my mouth. I am a little uncomfortable, so it happens. It all depends on our practice.
Yeah. So, one misconception that people have is if they are practicing consistently for a long time, right? And they take a break in the middle for a couple of days or maybe a week because they're traveling, they
Hmm.
feel like if I have reached from level 1 to 100, right? So if
Hmm.
they think they've reached level 40 and then they take a break and they think when they come back, they're still going to be at level 40, that is not accurate. Okay. Every day you
Hmm.
practice, you level up,
Hmm.
and every day you miss or every day you skip your practice, you level down. You don't stay at the same level. Okay.
Hmm. Yes.
So
Yes.
again, I'm not telling you anything. I'm just letting you know that this is a very big misconception people have that, okay, I'll take a week, I'll take a week off, I'll take a break, and I'll come back to it. But they have to understand that if they come back after a week, they have to do a separate revision to remember all the things that they had learned from the last 2, 3 months. And
Hmm.
then they can start on their growth again. So that revision also takes 2, 3 days.
Yes. Yes. So that is why I don't prefer to skip even a day.
That's
I
good. You
do it
should.
every day. If I don't have anyone, then also I read, I listen. If I am not able to do speaking practice, then I prefer to read out loud. Yeah.
That's great. That's good. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Okay. You're writing. That's nice. I'm assuming you're doing your own research before you write something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good source of vocabulary. That's a good source of general knowledge. That's nice.
Yes.
Let me give you an exercise. Okay. Uh, let's talk about your favorite book or movie. Can you pick one?
Okay. Um, I'm not very much into movies, but still I can pick one movie. And if I have to pick a book, then also I can pick one book that I lately read. This is
Whichever
Attitude
you
is
are
Everything.
comfortable with, you can pick one book
Yes.
or movie.
Okay. Okay, so I will pick book.
Okay. So
Attitude is
just
everything.
attitude is everything. Good. So just talk to me about that book for 2 minutes. I want to know what the book is because I have not read it.
Okay. This book is Attitude is Everything. It is all about our attitude. If we have positive attitude, then in our life, whatever we want to do, whatever our desire is, for example, we want to achieve a certain level. If we have a positive attitude that I can do it, then certainly we will start putting efforts towards it. And if
Hmm.
we have, in case we have this thought process that maybe I will not be able to do it, it is very difficult for me, it's not my cup of tea, then at the initial level itself, we will not work hard that much. So in that case, there is no chance of achieving anything. This is the main concept of this book, that we should have a very positive attitude. For example, if we want to, I take the example of learning English. I want to learn English. I want to become fluent speaker. I am consistently putting effort towards it. So if I it at some point of time I get demotivated or I get discouraged because I it's been a long while I am practicing, I have still not achieved that level that I wanted to achieve, then for a few days I will be no I will not be consistent enough. I will skip my practice for a few days. Then there is no chance of getting success.
Okay.
That is why having a positive attitude is a must, even if you want to achieve success in your life or if there is something else.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. Now, how big is this book? 200 pages?
Yes, maybe 188. It's less than
Around
200.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
Good. And how long does it usually take you to finish these books?
it's completely up to how much time I give, and if I am very consistent and I am reading for 1 hour, then I will finish this book in 5 to 6 days.
That's good. That's a good speed. Nice.
Yeah.
And were there any exercises that the book recommended that you do to improve your attitude? Maybe do some sort of analysis in your environment, maybe talk to somebody about some negative, attitudes that are bringing you down, something like that.
Yes, there are a few exercise, but I didn't do any exercise. I just kept on reading it.
Okay. And you thought that there was a lot of benefit even through reading without the exercise,
Yes.
right? Happy to hear that. Lovely. Now, Radhi ma'am, do you have any other conversation you would like to have, any topic you have in mind?
I don't have any topic, but I wanted to ask you one question. There are a few beginners, like they just want to start their English learning journey. So initially, they find it really difficult to start speaking. They are finding it difficult to construct sentences. Sometimes they don't know which tense they need to use. Sometimes they are making grammatical mistakes. So for those learners, I would like to ask you that how they can start speaking in English. Like sometimes they are hesitant, if someone comes in front of them, they are hesitant and they just prefer to speak in their native language. So for those learners, what will you suggest that how they can actually start speaking in English?
Okay. So there is two elements to this. Okay. One is going to be the element of conversation and basically person facing. Like, so what I'm going to say is the talking, the practice, like the conversation, the clapping were also part of that side. And one is the preparation and the mental. Okay. So what they can do, depending on what level they are at, they have to start with the mental first. That okay, we're going to make some promises, we're going to set up some disciplines, we're going to set up a timeline of what we want to do. Usually timelines are for either problems. So let's say they're having issues with tenses, right? So they need to promise to themselves that in 1 week they will do whatever research they can do. They'll write down all the rules that they can remember. They will write down the common mistakes that they are making, right? But for these things, they need to be corrected by someone. Okay. Then in the timeline, there has to be a goal. Okay, at the end of 1 week or at the end of 1 month, even it could be a year as well, right? But at the end of that time period, I'm going to test myself, basically prove myself by either giving a speech in public. It could be a speech at school, it could be a presentation at work, it could be a speech at a family member's anniversary or something, right? Something in public to test their skills so that they can get feedback from the other people, right? And to
Hmm.
also test their confidence. So all of these will be part of the mental preparation, the timelines, right? In the mental, they will also have to prepare for all the rules and everything that has to do with grammar. Okay. But I'm letting people know now, grammar is not something that you have to learn completely. So don't
Hmm.
think that you have to learn all the grammar rules and then start talking. That's not what I'm saying. Okay.
Hmm.
You start learning things that you feel you are weak at. Okay. So create the timetable, start talking, and as you find problems, as you find mistakes that you're making, keep adding them to your schedule. Then, okay, someone just told me that I'm not using connectors, I'm not using words that connect two sentences.
Hmm.
find some time, put it in there. Like, okay, 3 days I'm going to do research, 3 days I'm going to experiment with certain connecting words. So you can go to Google, find all the words that can be used to connect to sentences. And then next 3 days, try to use these in your sentences. Okay. That'll add another week to your timetable, right? Then the second part of it is the conversation. So anything, yeah, and I'm not just talking about English, right? I'll give you an example. If someone like me, okay, I feel I am overweight. I think 10 or 15 kgs overweight. If I go to the gym now for the first time, right? I can't start picking up 50 kilo dumbbells, right? Even though I have a big body, I'm not tiny.
Hmm.
I think I'm 5'10" in height. So for someone who's my size, who goes to the gym, they will probably be able to pick up 50 kgs. But because I'm
Hmm.
new, I cannot do that from the beginning. I have
Hmm.
to start slow, 10
So,
kgs, 15 kgs, 20 kgs, right? And every two
hmm.
weeks, I'll increase my weight, right?
Hmm.
Similarly, what people do is they look at other people talk and they feel like, oh, I'm so bad, I can't talk like them. No, but they've
Hmm.
been going to the gym for like 2 years. So they are
Hmm.
at a higher level in their journey, right?
Hmm.
So keep working. Just because in the first 1 or 2 weeks you're not getting abs doesn't mean you need to stop. Okay, you just need to be more consistent. All right.
Hmm.
And don't try to take on challenges that are too difficult for you. Keep a timeline, be a little patient. You
Hmm.
will need guidance from somebody. You can go to Google, you can talk to uh, people online, you can you can come to Clapingo to take sessions, right? There are a lot of YouTubers who take these free community meetings to give
Hmm.
advice. Any of those things work, right? Just do something about it. Start your journey as soon as possible and have patience and start working on it. And the best thing you can do is just keep practicing, just make sure your environment is in English. Even
Hmm.
listening to English songs, watching English movies, and watching English shows will get you comfortable with that language, what to say, how to say. Okay. Right. Even in Hindi movies, this happens, right? People who are talking in Hindi, when they look at Hindi movies, someone says something that happens in their life as well, but they're saying it in such a nice and positive manner. And then some people get inspired by it and they say that, okay, I used to say it negatively, so I'm going to say it nicely now. Okay. So that inspiration has to be taken from English as well. The more you watch, the more you talk, the more you practice, the better your vocabulary will get, your understanding of sentence formation, how
Hmm.
to talk positively, like like attitude, saying things positively also matters, right? So I'll give
Hmm.
you an example. Like my wife, she doesn't do it. I'm just giving you an example. If my wife doesn't like that I'm keeping my coffee cup on the table, right? There's two ways she can say this. She can say, "They are so untidy. You always keep the mug or like the cup on the table and you never put it back in the kitchen," right?
Hmm.
Or she
Hmm.
can say it nicely. She can say that, "I like that you have this routine of doing things, and I completely understand that. But why don't you keep the mug in the kitchen before the helper comes to clean the vessels? That way, the mug will not stay in the kitchen in the sink till dinner time. So there'll be
Hmm.
less of a mess and we'll attract less insects and ants and whatever." So that's a nice way of saying it. That will inspire me to do things properly, right?
Hmm.
So again, that is advanced level communication. I'm not talking about that, right?
Hmm.
But the more you look at people talk, the more you see things happen naturally in their environment, the more comfortable you will get with that conversation. A lot of
Hmm.
people, they start watching other people talk, the conversations, podcasts. In the beginning, it's not that good because firstly, you don't know what they're saying. Secondly, if they use any complex words or if they're talking about an industry you don't understand, right? Uh, you may feel scared, like, oh my God, they're talking in French, they're talking in German. You will not understand what they're saying. So keep it simple. Usually, I tell beginners to start with Disney movies like, Cinderella, Lion King. These are some really good, child-friendly, simple language movies that help
Hmm.
you understand words, how communication happens, right?
Hmm.
Start off with simple movies. If you can't access these, there are a lot of movies available for free online, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just talking about the level of the movie. You cannot start off straight with some Einstein level movie where they're talking about black holes and you cannot do
Hmm.
that. It'll just scare you. So
Yeah.
start simple, have a plan, and don't be scared to have conversations. Make mistakes. It's okay. Nobody will remember your mistake after 2, 3 weeks. Everybody is too busy solving their own problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. So you mean listening is at most important because for me, if I take my example, I was very much into reading since the very beginning. I never gave importance to listening because I didn't find it. Whenever I would start listening, I would get distracted very easily. But at this point of time, I feel that if I had gave importance to listening, then I would have become much better than now I am.
Right. So there are a lot of people who learn differently, and you are the kind of person who learns through reading, which is not bad. Okay. But there is one small drawback to that. I will highly recommend people to find their ways. What is the easiest or the most fun way for them to learn? And for you, it is books, which is lovely.
Hmm.
But when you read books, I would suggest you also do some exercises to counter the negative effects, which is not being able to listen to the pronunciations or not being able to listen to the tone or the speed or
Hmm.
this or the volume of the person when they're talking. All of these
Yeah.
things are available in shows and movies, where a
Hmm.
villain is like, oh, yes, I am going to murder the hero in this movie because he foiled my plans to take over the world, right? Whereas someone who's excited at a birthday is like, oh my God, I'm so happy that you've turned 30. I can't wait to spend, this weekend with you for the. So all these small things, body functions, cues, you will miss out on. So you can cancel that out by doing some exercise extra. That's not a problem.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I said, it's good that you know that you are learning through reading, but you have to counter it through listening, because listening is an important skill to understand pronunciations, body language, tone, all of those things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. So, why don't you tell me something? Have you experimented with audiobooks?
Yes, I have experimented, but then again, the same problem. Whenever I start listening, I get distracted very soon. I try to focus on listening as well, but I don't know why I'm not. Maybe reading has become my habit. That is why I find it very interesting. And if I start listening, then also again I feel that it's not beneficial for me. I'm not being able to focus on it. So let's then I grab a book and start reading.
I think I know why this happens, because again, I don't know anything about how you have learned things in the past. This is just an assumption. But I
Hmm.
think you were the kind of person who used to listen to songs in the past, or let's say when you're going on a drive with your family, when you used to have a radio at home. Nowadays, I think nobody has radio. They only have,
No.
applications on their phone to listen to specific music. But I
Hmm.
remember the times where you used to sit on the radio and just listen to whatever they were playing. You didn't have a choice. You couldn't choose what you wanted to listen to, right?
Hmm.
So I think I don't know about you and I, but I think the generation before us, right, has also the same thing that, okay, start playing music in the background and then just let it be background music. You don't have to sit and focus on every word that they're saying, right? So I think you have that habit that whenever you start an audiobook in the background, whether it's headphones, loudspeaker, whatever it is,
Hmm.
your mind directly goes to, okay, what am I doing right now? Let me focus on that, and that will play in the background, right? Maybe it's that. Again, I don't know, right? That's why you're not able to sit and focus on it as if it's an independent task. I think
Hmm.
it as if it is your primary task. So audiobooks are generally for people who are too busy to read a book. When they're driving to work, instead of talking to their friend, they'll listen to an audiobook or they listen to a podcast in the car. Or let's say they have to do something physical. Like let's say I am wrapping, let's say I'm putting my brother's wedding invitations in an envelope. And it's just a task that I have to do over and over. I have to do it 1,000 times. Then I'll have something in my ears, listening to something while I'm doing this physical task, right? So I think this is where audiobooks are very advantageous for people, that
Hmm.
they might listen to news through audio. That hey, I'll just put in my earphones and see what happened this week while I'm
Hmm.
finishing this physical task, while I'm boiling the milk, while I'm doing something that it doesn't need super like focus of mind. Yeah?
Hmm.
And I think your learning mentality is not like that. I think your brain automatically loses focus when something like
Hmm.
audio is playing in the background, because it's
Yeah.
just something that plays in the background just to keep yourself, you know, it's like a entertainment sort of thing. It's not something that is used specifically for learning, right?
Hmm.
Which is completely fine. So what I would suggest you to do is read a book. You continue reading a book. This is not a bad thing, right? You don't want to lose on the benefits of reading a book. That is very nice. But when you are thinking of listening, then watch a YouTube video, because when you're watching and listening at the same time, then it feels like a task. Then it feels like you're doing only one thing,
Hmm.
right? I think the
Yeah.
audio thing for you has become like background, like, okay, let it be.
Yes.
I'm going to do my
Yes.
own thing. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm wrong about this, but this is my
Yeah. Yeah.
assumption.
I have already started. I sometimes watch some short videos on YouTube. So this is I sometimes find it interesting. Like if it is a short video of 6 to 7 minutes or 10 minutes, then I'm able to watch it. Otherwise, if it is a movie of for 2 hours, then I am not able to.
Yeah, I think my wife does the same thing. She loves taking breaks between movies.
Yes,
She'll watch
yes.
30 minutes and then she'll go get up, get like something to
Hmm.
eat. She'll watch
If
another
I
30
have
minutes.
to, if I have to one movie of 2 hours, then I will take I around one 1 week to
Wow,
complete it
really? Okay, so
because
you
I
don't like
always
sitting in one place and watching.
yes I cannot sit and watch for 2 hours.
What about shows? Can you watch 30-minute episodes?
If I like, if it is interesting, then I watch.
Okay. Have you experimented with any shows recently?
Not with English shows, but Hindi shows I do.
No, I think you should start watching English shows.
Yes,
I think they
yes,
will
I
really
will,
help
I
you.
will. Yeah, it is
Have you
really
seen
helpful.
Friends?
I have seen a few times.
Few
Not
times,
much,
few
but
episodes, or like have you finished it?
no, I haven't finished it. A few times I started, but again I didn't had much time, so I just closed
I think
it.
you find it boring. That's why you
Yes,
didn't watch it.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe think about all the Hindi movies that you like. Try to
Hmm.
find the common genre, whether it's romance, drama, thriller, horror, whatever the genre is.
Hmm.
And then just go to Google and type the genres that you like. And they will give you, I'm sure they will give you some good suggestion on shows that you can watch, right? And
Yeah, there
then
are English dubbed movies are also available. Hindi movies dubbed in
I would not
English.
suggest, I would not suggest you to watch that, because what
Okay.
happens in dubbing is they are translating every sentence,
Hmm.
right? So y- all you're listening to is just the English version of a Hindi movie, right?
Okay. Hmm.
So I'll give you an example. If in an English movie, someone says, yeah, we only have a minute, so I'm going to make this quick, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
please.
the reason I don't recommend Hindi movies dubbed in English is because I'll give you an example. In an English movie, if someone says, "Hey, we're in New York, let's try a hot dog," because that is something that is famous over there, right? Like a New York
Hmm.
hot dog.
Hmm.
In the Hindi version, they will not say New York and hot dog. They will say, अरे यार मुझे मुंबई के वड़ा पाव की याद आ रही है. Something they might say, right? So
Hmm.
what happens is, even though the sentence itself doesn't change, what you're listening to changes, because now you will not understand what he was actually saying in the movie.
Hmm.
Because he's not going to go and have a vada pav. He's going to go have a hot dog,
Hold
right?
on.
And depending on the hot dog, there might be different things that it might say. Like in Mumbai, people say you should have a hot dog with that green mirchi. It's really nice because the spice flavor, right? But he's not going to have that with the hot dog. So it's going to be very awkward for you because you're trying to connect this with Indian mentality, but it's not. So
Hmm.
try to find some shows that are very simple, okay,
Hmm.
and listen to them in their original language, which should be English, right? Even
Okay.
like I have this again, I don't know if this is my bad habit. Even my friends recommend that I should watch anime. Now, anime is Japanese, right?
Hmm.
It's cartoon. I mean, it's not cartoon, but it's animated through comic books, right? So they have a version of comic books for adults. It's called manga. The comic books are called manga. So they are animated versions of manga, which is books. So even in that, a lot of my friends said, Ki, "Arey, no, just watch it in English." But I personally feel like no, if it is made in Japan and it's made in Japanese as an original language, I'll watch it in that. Yes, I will
Hmm.
have subtitles because I don't know how to speak in
Okay.
Japanese. Yes, to
Hmm.
understand them, but the feel, the volume, the intensity of how they talk. Like I like that original sound. Even if I end up watching a French movie, I'll watch it in French with English subtitles. Right. So I
Okay.
recommend you to watch it in the original language. And
Hmm.
even though you may not understand in the beginning, but you're going to love it eventually. And it's going to help you a lot. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
All right. I'm running out of time because I have to join another session right now. I'm so sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
Thanks a lot.
yes, no problem. I'll see you soon. Keep practicing. Stay
Yeah.
positive. I think you already read the book on that. I don't have to tell you that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was really nice talking to you. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot for yeah.
Yeah. I think I feel the same way. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye bye.